This conference will now be recorded.
So today we are going to discuss the very first step of doing performance testing and followed by sample, record and replay. Is my screen up, guys?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So today our agenda is we already
But
know what
your
is
voice is
performance.
coming, sorry to interrupt, but your voice is coming very slow actually. Could you please check your mic?
It's 100%. How about now?
Yeah, it's better now. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks. And please let me know if you are facing any such sort of issues in the mid. Okay. It might be due to my bad throat, due to cold and cough. Sorry for that. Okay. So yesterday we discussed about what's the difference between functional and performance testing, and we discussed about all the WH questions related to performance. What is performance testing? Why exactly we need it, and when we are going to perform it, and how we are going to achieve it, and also discussed on LoadRunner architecture and followed by performance testing lifecycle. Okay, so here we will be having like around 5 steps in performance testing lifecycle. Now we are going to like get some sort of clear picture on the very first step, which is NFR, non-functional requirement gathering. Okay, and then we are going to do a sample, record and replay by using LoadRunner tool. Okay, let me open the Word document. Non-functional requirement. So let's take any application. Okay, so you started your project on IRCTC. Let's consider the railway project. And you just started your work as a performance tester, and now you are gathering the NFR. Okay, so for each and every company, as I said yesterday, there will be sort of standard document. Okay, in that standard document, we will be like considering uh, like few things. So we need to like ask the client regarding all the things, or we need to get in touch with business analyst, like who will be working in depth with the application development and analysis, and also with the production logs. So the very first question when it comes to non-functional requirement is, so we just need to ask whether the application is live or new. Okay. So if it is already live in the sense or existing. So if the application is already existing, then we can simply ask the client to get some sort of production logs. Okay, or else if it is a completely purely new application, then we will be like communicating and defining the load. And also like whenever the client is doesn't defining any parameters like load or response, anything whatever it might be, then we need to define all these values with the sort of doing any benchmark testing or load testing or whatever it might be. So whenever they are talking about any application, the very first question will be like, is client aware of the application? And if he is not aware, there will be another scenario. And also we need to check, is the application is live and existing, or this is a newly developed application, newly developed. Okay, and And also we need to check exactly what's the load. Load is nothing but user count. Like exactly, suppose let's take, okay. So the first I'm seeing Venkat. So let's consider Venkat is a client. So he is the owner of IRCTC, and we all working as a performance testers. So we are pushing all these questions to Venkat. So the first question is we are going to ask whether the application is live or it's a newly developed application. Okay. So here he might be aware of these. I mean, if it is live or newly application, then we will be posting the other things. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, this is the thing. So after that, we will be posting few questions. We will be asking how much load exactly he is looking for the performance testing. Let's consider he is looking for 1,000 users. Okay. So he is going to tell if he is aware of it. So here we will be having two things. One is defined load and defined load. Okay. For now, as you are completely not aware of these things, let's postpone this undefined, so we can consider all the related stuff later, because that might cause you a bit confusions. Okay, now I'm going to ask Venkat by considering all the things as a defined load. Okay, so we are going to ask whether how much load he is looking for execution, and what is the expected SLAs. SLA is nothing but service level agreement. What is the expected SLA for response time? So we are doing a login functionality in IRCTC application. Exactly how much time he is expecting for the login functionality? Is that 2 seconds or 3 seconds or 4 seconds? Okay, he is going to tell us that login functionality should be less than 2 seconds, and booking ticket should be less than like 5 seconds, and the payment should be less than 5 seconds, and the logout functionality should be less than 1 or 2 seconds. Okay, definitely, like whenever you are navigating and using particular application, then definitely there will be like particular response time. Like see, I'm searching with Hyderabad, and let's take Bengaluru. So if I'm going to book a ticket with these two from Hyderabad to Bengaluru, and with the different specifications. So if I'm booking the ticket, how much time exactly the server is taking in order to book your ticket? Okay, so here we can consider and term the response time as time taken by the server to respond for particular request. Yes. Yeah. Exactly how much time your server is taking to respond for particular request. Either it might be login, or it might be like launching the IRCTC application, or for the booking, or for the cancellation of your ticket, or for logout, or for searching exactly something. Okay, all these things will comes into picture. And also we need to ask him what is the expected TPS. TPS in the sense transactions per second. SEC. Yeah, transactions per second. So if he's taking like exactly, like I'm expecting like 5 transactions should be generated per second, then we are gonna to design our scenario in such a way in order to reach 5 second, I mean 5 transactions per second. And if he is going to ask us to build our test design with 1,000 users, definitely we'll be adding all these things in our test scenario. Okay, likewise we will be having n number of things here. And also we need to check key business scenarios. Okay, what is exactly key business scenarios? So if you see the application here, so what Venkat is going to say, I'm having this application and I'm having like n number of things like login, register, agent login, contact us, and trains, loyalty, and valid, buses, flights, hotels, holidays, meals. I'm having all these things. So can you please come up with the key business scenarios? Because I just communicated with the development team in order to design this application in such a way. But I'm having only like around 2 weeks of time to go for the very first release of this application into production. Okay, based on the time constraint, we can directly convey the client, because if you see the functionality here, so we are having n number of functionalities. So we need to decide exactly what are all the key business scenarios, what are all the frequently used, and what are all critically considered as critical business scenarios. Okay, what is our main objective of using this IRCTC application? So 99% of people will be using this application for train ticket booking. Okay, a very few will come and use bus tickets, flight tickets, hotel tickets in IRCTC. Okay, based on the frequently used and critical business scenarios, we can easily convey to the client saying like, as this is a sort of completely train ticket booking application and we are having a time constraint, right? So now we are going to consider the login functionality and register functionality, and also train ticket booking and cancellation, and also PNR inquiry and tracking your train, all everything related to the train. And so we are planning to consider the buses, flights, hotels, holidays in the upcoming release based on the time constraints and also based on the critical business scenarios. Okay, and finding the key business scenarios is completely our responsibility. Okay, whenever you see some application like this, you can easily identify like what are all the things we are going to use it very frequently. If you are very new to that application and if you are like unaware, then you can easily ask your development team, and also you can ask your client to get the production logs. Okay, so from the production logs you can also like get idea on exactly which module, which functionality is frequently used by the users, exactly how the users are using this particular application. Okay, so here we are going to include the key business scenarios as well. And then we also need to know the technical design specifications. Okay, we also need to know exactly from which technology the IRCTC is designed. Is that Java or .NET or sort of JS scripts? Okay, so we exactly need to know exactly from which technology it is developed, and followed by application architecture. Okay, so when we speak about the application architecture, there will be one tier, two tier, three tier, and n tier. So we need to know how many web servers are there, how many app servers are there, how many DB servers are there. Web, app, and DB. In a simple note, web server is nothing but which is going to execute static request. See, if I'm going to type like www.irctc.com, then it will reach you to this page. It will navigate you to this particular page. Okay, that is going to be done from web server. So whenever you are seeing sort of application view like this is all going to be dealt from app server. And whenever you are trying to provide your username, password, and providing the captcha, and whenever you are clicking on sign in, then all these details will move to the database. Okay, if the database finds your data credentials as correct, then it is going to allow you to do sort of the changes, or to book the ticket or cancel the ticket or whatever it might be. Then only you will be allowing to the application. If you are providing the wrong credentials, then database is going to tell you like you are using invalid credentials or incorrect credentials. Okay, so we also need to know the exactly what is application architecture and how is it is designed. How many web servers are there, how many app servers are there, and how many DB servers are there.
Can you tell me one more time about app server?
Okay, see. So web server is going to give you and execute the static request. Okay. Whereas app server is nothing but whenever you open any application, okay, whenever you are doing anything in the application, that all relates to the app server. See, you are picking like the source and you are picking the destination. See, you are typing the Chennai and you are picking the Chennai from the drop down. So all these things are getting generated from the app server. So if you see the all classes and you are seeing like AC 2 tier, 3 tier, and sleeper. So this is, you are able to see this type of application only once the app is developed, right? So all the things whatever you are playing with the application is related to app server. And whenever you are asking the information related to the database, might be registration or might be login functionality, so that is going to be dealt with DB server. Clear?
Yep.
Okay. So we are
Thank you.
also going to discuss. Yeah, fine. So we are also going to discuss the related things related to application architecture. And yesterday we discussed like exactly when we are going to start our performance testing. Can anyone let me know exactly when we should do performance testing?
After QA testing, like
E-
after
Exactly. So after QA testing and also like once the development is done. Okay, it should be completed with the development phase and it should be completed with QA phase, and also the application should be stable. So whenever you are doing any sort of testing, definitely there will be entry criteria, right? So what is entry criteria here? It should be completed with dev phase and it should be completed with QA phase, and application should be stable. Okay, here we are also going to ask Venkat that we are done with entry phase. Do we have any sort of signed documents that they are completely done with the development phase and they are completely done with QA phase? We can also add this point to our client. And in the same way, when we talk about the entry criteria, we can also talk about exit criteria. Okay, then we can say like this is suitable with exit criteria. Suppose you did your master's or bachelor's. So what is the prerequisite? You should complete your intermediate. Okay, and you should pass all the things related to that. And when we can say like that you are completely done with your bachelor's or master's, is that simply like completion of 4 years, or definitely there will be one thing, right? What was that? So when one can say like,
Uh, I have a question. Like in agile model, since it's a short sprint and all, like even if QA functional starts doing the testing, performance also doing the testing. So in that case, that logic, once that QA is done, functional testing is done, like we have
yeah,
to start the performance. That is not applicable, right? For that
yeah,
model, right?
yes, exactly. So whatever we are discussing for now is that is purely related to the like waterfall. Like whenever you are talking about the agile methodology, that will be completely like the work should be done in parallel. Okay, so whatever the non-functional requirement we are gathering here, that is some sort of the basic and standard document. But when you talk about agile, then definitely we are going to do that in parallel, but definitely that should be done with QA phase. Because if the functionality is not stable, then how you are going to perform your perf test activities? If you consider like, suppose let's take in this current sprint one, now we are into sprint one, and they just asked us to work on the login functionality. What is QA is going to do? They'll just check with the like happy path only, happy path in the sense with the positive credentials. They are going to give you the positive username and followed by feedback, and they are going to provide the captcha and then clicking on sign in. If whenever you are clicking on username, if it is not allowing you to write something over here, see, whenever you are typing something here, it is still giving username, that's it. If your system is not allowing you to take any credentials, then definitely that is related to the functionality issue only, right? So if the issue is still there, how you are going to capture like how much time the login functionality is going to take? So definitely that should be even in the sprints also, even in the waterfall or agile also, definitely it should be done in parallel when we talk about the agile, but that should be done with functionality phase and development phase. Without that, you can't even step into any application. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Suppose if the application is completely new and the client also doesn't aware about the response time, even the development team also they also don't have experience, and you don't have production logs as well, because it is completely a new application. So in that case, is there any standard criteria that needs to be followed to define the response time, or
Yes.
what type? How will you define the response time?
Okay. So in that cases, when the application is completely developed one, so then we are gonna to like analyze all the things, all the parameters based on the industry standards. So we will be having some sort of industry standards. If it is some sort of normal web page, then it will take like around like 3 seconds. If it is some sort of trading web page, then it will be like around 5 seconds. And if you are working on some any like pulling reports or something like that, then definitely there will be like around 15 seconds, something like that. So in the first line I said like, so whatever we are discussing, that is related when the client is aware of that. Because if we are going to discuss all the things, then it's going to cause you bit confusion in the very first step. Okay, so when the client is completely not aware of things, so if you consider IRCTC, that is a very new application. So what we are going to do, we are going to take some standard values based on the comparison. So we just need to take any other running application just like IRCTC. Then we can take those logs. And also in industry, there will be some standard values for payment that will be like around 5 seconds. Okay. And also like for login functionality, it should be like between 2 to 3 seconds. For logout, it should be like between 1 to 2 seconds. Based on that, we will be designing the parameters SLA. Clear?
Where to refer this industry standards like in Google.com?
Yes, you can able to fetch that from the Google as well.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So we need to consider the entry criteria, whether it should be done with development phase and also QA phase, and it should be stable. So, and also we need to talk about the exit criteria. Exit criteria means, so far we talked the things about SLA everywhere. So service level agreement. So whenever like the client is saying like the response time between these many seconds, and the performance should be like server criteria will be like within 80%, or it should be within the 70% level, and TPS should be like around 5 transactions per second. So if we met each and every parameter after running the test, then we can say like we are good to sign up. That is nothing but exit criteria. It is nothing but meeting SLA, service level agreement. So as we discussed earlier, so when we are going to get the bachelor certificate, when we complete all the examinations with a passed status. In the same way, here, whenever our test reports met SLA, then we can simply say like we met exit criteria. Okay, here we will be considering entry and exit criteria. And also we can question the client like, do we have any specific time to run the test? Okay, if we are working for on-site, then definitely our work timings will be different. If you are working on any sort of Indian applications, then we will be working in different hours. So in the same way, we are also going to question the client exactly like what is the specific time, and do we have any specific time to run the test. So mostly we won't be running any test in the production hours. Okay, so in the same way, we also question like, do we have any batch process? So it is some sort of maintenance. So even if you consider the IRCTC, so whenever you are trying to book a ticket like after 11:30 or 11:45, it is going to give you error like you can't able to book your ticket. The application is under maintenance, and you can able to book ticket only after 30 minutes or 1 hour of duration. Okay, so during any such sort of any maintenance or batch process, you are not supposed to run any execution, because that is completely invalid.
It is
Okay,
like a downtime, right?
yes, downtime. Okay, these are the few things what we will be considering in non-functional requirement document. So we need to question him whether the application is live or it is completely new application. And also we will be asking like how much load we are planning to go ahead, and what is the expected response time, and what is the expected transactions per second, and what are all the key business scenarios we are planning to move into this application. And here we can also ask like what is in scope and what is out scope as well. So if you consider the same application by seeing the application here itself, okay, so we can easily say, like as per the time limit and all the constraints, we can say like what are all the related to the booking, related to the ticket booking, that is registration, login functionality, and ticket booking, cancellation, and we can also check either the connecting journey as well, tracking train. All these things will be considered for this release and remaining for the next release in the sense. So what are all we are planning for the current release is considered as in scope. What are all the functionalities we are planning to push for the next release or coming release, that comes under out scope. It means it is not in scope. Simple. Okay. So if you consider the IRCTC application, so you can simply say like, so in order to log in, definitely you should register, right? So register, login, time booking, and cancel booking, and followed by tracking, PNR, and connecting, etc. All these things will be considered as in scope. Okay. In the same application, we are also having bus booking, flights, food, hotel, etc. So these are considered as out scope for now. Okay. So this is the very first step of non-functional requirements. You no need to worry. Like whenever you working on any application, definitely your project manager is going to share you the standard template. They'll simply ask you to fill those details accordingly. But if you're preparing for sort of interviews, then definitely it will be better to know like at least 10 of all these things or minimum of 7. So the main things will be like key business scenario, and the first one we should know whether the application is live or newly developed, expected load, expected response time TPS, and architecture, entry and exit criteria. Okay, once you prepare the non-functional requirement here, then the very next step is designing test plan. So what are all the things you discussed so far with your client in the very first step? You are going to prepare a document in the second step. So we can discuss the test plan tomorrow. So now we are done with NFR, right? Now I am going to show you a sample recording and we'll do a replay. Okay. So I'll quickly show you on what application we are playing here. So first I need to switch on server. This is the WebTools application, just like a ticket booking application. So whenever you are like doing any performance activities, or it might be development or anything, so first you need to check the application end to end and need to know the functionality. You need to be familiar with the functionality. Okay, this is my URL. Okay, 127.0.0.1:1080/webtools/index.htm. Okay, so here I am having username and password. So whenever you download this application, so by default it is going to allow you with basic credentials. So Jojo, it is universal credentials. BEAN, bean is your password. Okay, I'm clicking on login. Before that, if you want to sign up, you can use this link. You can sign up and provide your credentials. But anyhow, for now we are having the universal credentials and I am using that for reference, Jojo and Bin, and clicking on login. And here I'm having 4 buttons: flights, itinerary, home, and sign off. I'm clicking on flights and it is showing you the departure and arrival city. By default, it is taking the very first line from the drop down. See, Denver is the first city in the drop down. So for the same reason, it is showing same in both the drop downs. So I'll pick some random here, Los Angeles to Sydney, and seating preference is window and type of seat is business class. Okay, I'm clicking on continue, and for the same source and destination, you are having 4 flights: 380, 81, 82, 83 is your flight number. And this is the departure time. And it is costing you around like $971 for this flight, $865 for 381, and $918 for third flight, and followed by $794 for the last flight. So you can pick any flight in random and click on continue. And if you provide your details here, and by default I provided the same credit card, and it is whatever the data we are providing here is completely dummy data, and clicking on continue. Okay, now I just booked a ticket for the Los Angeles to Sydney. Okay, if you see, the itinerary is nothing but the transaction history. It is going to give you booking history. See, Los Angeles to Sydney, 918. Okay, and 382 is your flight number. And I am clicking on sign off. What I did, I just logged in and booked one ticket. That's it. Even if you provide the address or not, it is going to allow you, because this is completely dummy thing. Okay, if you want to go ahead with another ticket, you can click on book another or simply sign off. Okay, so once you are done with your installation part, as I said yesterday, in the desktop itself you are going to see 3 icons: Vugen for scripting, controller for execution, and analysis for report analyzing. Okay, I'm taking Vugen now. I'll quickly record a script. So it is going to show you what version you are using. See, version 2022. Okay, file, new script, and HTML. So this is my script name, and clicking on create. Okay, so if you see the option here, so this is the place where you'll record. You no need to write any code here. Here we'll be having predefined options, so you'll be simply clicking that, and it is going to record you the code on which page you are navigating. So I'm clicking on record, and see, I already provided the URL address here, and this is the browser. If you want to go ahead with any browser, you can go ahead. Okay, and clicking on start recording. So when you apply the URL there, it is going to directly take you to the URL. It is going to open the WebTools application. Okay, WebTools page is loading and launching. So here we also have multiple options. See, if you want to stop the recording, you can stop it. If you want to pause the recording, see, suppose like you don't know exactly what is your username and password. and if you want to check with your teammate or colleague, okay, you can simply stop it and pause it, and you can open your Teams and ping them. And if you want to resume your recording, you can go ahead. Or if you are doing some completely a wrong thing, you can simply click on cancel. Okay, here I'm providing the details. Jojo BEAN is my password. Clicking OK. It got freezed. My bad. Let it load. Actually, it won't take much time, so there might be some connectivity issues or bandwidth issues. Okay, no worries. So let's consider I'm just providing username, password, clicking on login and flights, and I picked any random value. Okay, and took any data here and simply click on. Once you are done with your sign off or your steps, just simply click on stop recording. So it is going to simply show you what all you recorded in that particular browser using that particular application. Okay, so when you record it for the very first time, it is going to show you like what are all the domains included. So this is the page it is going to give you, recording report. Okay, so what is our URL here? It is 127.0.0.1. Okay, if you see such domain here, it means that is related to your WebTools application. So whenever you are doing the scripting or recording the scripting for the very first time, it is going to give you n number of third parties. Okay, but just make sure the domain whatever it is reflecting is from your application or not. By seeing the domain itself, you can easily able to identify is that your application or not. So if you see here, these are all not from my application: Mozilla, Firefox, DigiCert, PKI, all these things. So I'll simply uncheck all the unwanted domains and click on regenerate. Okay, so it is going to give you the script like this. See, this is the place where you logged in, I mean the launch page. See, 127.0.1.1080. Okay, and if you see here, see the username Jojo, and you provided the password as BEAN, bean. Okay, so this is your login functionality. And see, here we clicked on, after providing the credentials, I clicked on flights. Okay, so it is nothing but it is searching for flights. Okay, so this third step is search flights button. So by seeing the name itself, you can easily identify. So this is talking about the login. Okay, and this is talking about searching flight buttons. So and from here it started doing reservation. See the line number 68. So the departure city is London and the arrival city is Portland, and you opted window seat, and business class. Okay, from London to Portland, window seat, business class. And number of passengers is 1. If you scroll down, see, your flight number is 252. London to Portland, right? London, Portland, window seat, business class. Click on continue. See, we have the series 250, 251, 252, 253. What we picked? So we picked 252. So 252 is your flight number and 761 is nothing but the cost. See, for 252 it costs $761. Okay, and followed by a journey date. Okay, once after booking the ticket, what you did, once after picking the flight number, you'll just click on continue and you provided the payment details here. See, the same thing got updated. This is related to your payment. You provided your credit card details for this particular flight. Then you just clicked on, after clicking on continue, you just clicked on sign off. See, sign off button. So whatever you are playing with your application, the Vugen is going to show you those requests by using simply recording option. You no need to write any code here. So we will be doing some modification. See, if I'm going to run the same script for 100 users, okay, is that going to be realistic? So we are like around 20 people here. See, around 20 people here. So if I'm using the same script for all the 20 users in the sense, so each and every user is going to travel from London to Portland, and they are going to pick only the flight number 252. That doesn't make any sense, right? Because Venkat wants to travel with different source and destination, same like Jagadish. Even Amrish also wants to go ahead with different destination. Anamika, Lakshmi, Nitya, Krishna, each and every people around here, they'll be having their own decisions while traveling. So whenever you are designing the script, that should be very realistic. The only way what we should keep in our mind while doing the perf test activities is it should be realistic. So here we will be doing sort of, the term is called as correlation. So if you apply the correlation over there, it is going to pick any random value from the drop down in the departure city and any random value in the drop down of your arrival city. And not all the people wants window seat, right? They might be picking ASL. See, we are having different options. So they are going to pick either ASL and window. And not all the people going to pick business class. It's completely dependent. First class or coach or business. So we will be doing those enhancements in our script. In the same way, so like if you see, if you are applying the correlation for arrival and departure, London and Portland, let's simply go ahead with London and Paris. See, it is with 240 series, 240, 241, 242, 243. If you are not going to make the changes here, every time it is going to pick the flight number 252, which is completely wrong. So if you are applying the changes here, definitely you need to update the changes for your flight number as well. Okay. So, and not all the people are going to use the same credit card details. So we will be giving multiple credit card details here as well. So for the same reason, we will be having few enhancements. What are all getting generated from the server that should be correlated? What are all the inputs that we are giving from our side that should be parameterized? And we will be giving some sort of text verifications. So whether, just to check whether the script is reaching to that particular application or not. And whenever you made all the changes, you will be clicking on replay. It is going to simply replay you accordingly. So whenever you see the thing called script passed, it doesn't mean you are done with your scripting. See, I just recorded the script, but this is not at all realistic. So I just used only one username, one password, and with one arrival city and one departure city. Okay, so going forward, we'll be learning all this stuff. So this is a sample recording and replay. And now we have 4 minutes left, and please come up with your questions now, guys. And tomorrow we'll be discussing test plan, and we'll do the installation part as well. And from Monday we'll start our scripting activities. Guys, any questions on today's session?
Like think time and all, like where will like how will you add here?
See, when we recorded the scripting itself, will be by default it is going to add something time. Okay, so we are going to discuss all this stuff in the upcoming sessions. So think time, if you ask about the think time is nothing but user wait time between two web pages. See, you are using this application. It means definitely the user can't directly hit Jojo Bean in a very fraction of a second, right? Definitely he is going to take some time to log into that application. So how much time you are spending in that particular page is nothing but a think time. Okay, how much time you are taking to add all these details. See, definitely, like whenever I am changing all these things, definitely it is allowing me to take some time, right? So that is nothing but a think time. User wait time between two web pages. If you're having some sort of if you take your applying for loan, then definitely you'll be having n number of fields. So definitely it means like you are going to take high time to fill the document. So whenever you record such scripts, it is going to give you the think time as like around 120 seconds or 150 seconds. Okay, it completely depends on how you are recording your script. It doesn't mean like if you are recording in a very low pace, then it's going to give you even 200 seconds as well. It doesn't mean whatever the think time it is loading, we should go with that value. So for think time, there is standard value, which is 5 seconds. Okay, here we have settings. So by default, it will be ignore. It means it is going to take 0 seconds. Okay, if you use this option, replay think time as recorded, it is going to take what are all the recorded timings that got updated while scripting. And here you can also limit it to 5 seconds. Okay, we are going to cover each and everything in the upcoming sessions. Clear?
Yeah, clear. If the script is automated using some other script means those scripts how will you call here in LoadRunner?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Instead of user navigating to the web pages,
Okay.
so if the script is already automated, for that, is there a way to call those scripts in LoadRunner as well?
So whatever the scripts we are recording, that is nothing but some sort of using automated tools only, right? So here we are simply applying some sort of enhancements and using those in the controller, which is the second component in order to execute our test scripts. So we don't like there is no need to call that from any other source. So whatever we are doing here, we are simply adding that to the controller for test execution, because we are simply
Oh,
using the automated tools only, right? So the load runner itself is nothing but the automated testing tool, performance testing tool. Because if it is not automated in the sense, then definitely you need to write each and every line of code, right? So we are using Jojo as username and password, and this is your credit card details, this is the arrival city and departure city. We need to write each and everything from manual efforts. So whatever the record options we are using there itself is nothing but the automated script. Okay.
okay, thank you.
Do we need to do any manual settings before doing the recording?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
the Jmeter and all, they will be doing right that proxy settings and all. Like
Proxy
that.
settings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, yep. Let me share it again. So here we will be having n number of recording options. If you click on, see, if you click on record button here, we will be having recording options. So we will be discussing all these options. Okay. There is no need to set sort of different proxy just like Jmeter.
Okay.
Okay. But we
Okay.
need to define these values before going ahead with record.
Okay. Got it.
We have different modes of recording as well. So we will be playing around in the coming sections.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. And mostly by tomorrow we are going to start the installation process, and also we are going to like close the test plan, and from Monday we'll be playing with scripting.
Ma'am, after web HTTP, you are going to tell like mobile testing as well?
No, in the sessions we won't cover mobile testing.
Okay.
So after web HTTP HTML, I'm going to add one or
Means you're
2 days of
taking
client
a
sessions.
different training section, that one. I'm looking
Yeah,
that one as well, that's why.
yeah, you can check with the Isha management team. For mobile testing, there will be another training. Yeah. Actually, like here we will be having one browser stack. Exactly, I'm not sure you are referring to that or not. If you want to use the same testing browser stack. So actually, this is one sort of extension. Suppose let's take if you're working on Domino's application. Okay, so www. If you want to test some sort of 500, whatever it might be. Okay, if you are testing with the website and UI, that will be different. Okay, but if you want to test the same application in mobile, because we are using the same application in web based and also mobile based, right? So if you want to check the same application from the mobile, then you'll be having one extension called browser stack.
Okay.
Okay, if you have the valid credentials from your client, you can directly sign in and you can check the same application over there. So this is nothing but a very simple application, like how we just used to navigate in web. When you sign into the browser stack, it is going to give you the list of all the mobiles. Like if you click on Samsung, it is going to give you like Samsung 23 Ultra, 23 Plus, 23, 22 Ultra, 22 Plus, and 22 and FE versions. And if you choose the iOS, it is going to give you like 16, 15 Pro, 15, 15 Max. Okay, and it is going to give you all the different modes and different updations as well. So you can simply use anything over there. It is nothing but checking the same application in mobile. Okay. Any more questions, guys? And again, I'm saying, like, if you are pinging me regarding to the programming knowledge, this won't need any programming knowledge. Like within 40 to 45 days, like once we are done, I mean, I'm just saying including the weekends as well. So this is like around September end, right? By end of October end, you'll definitely get some complete and clear picture on the performance testing and also LoadRunner usage. I'm pretty sure you are going to get such confidence by end of your training sessions. And if you are getting any project also, you can easily able to do that. But to get all these things, definitely you should do practice. And also I said yesterday, like if you guys are preparing for interview, so I'll take mock calls as well. Okay, guys, if no questions, we can wind up the session. So feel free to ping in the group, or yesterday I pinged in the group. So if needed, you can directly ping me if you have any questions on this. Okay. Can I close the call now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, we can connect tomorrow at 8.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thanks for joining.